Hi, everybody. Today's story is a really important message. It's called The Girl in the Yellow Dress, and it was written by Danielle Alexander and illustrated by Alyssa Parsons. I usually don't read the back cover of the books to you, but I think you want to hear this one. The story, The Girl in the Yellow Dress, is based on a true story told by Principal Marianne Prisichenko of Sibley Elementary School, which was the founding site for Kids Food Basket. Though Melanie is a fictional name, the story of both her yellow dress and her hunger are true. The vision of a girl in a yellow dress digging food out of the trash is one that remains in the hearts of both Principal Prisichenko and many others who have dedicated their time to Kids Food Basket, and is what drives them to continue the good work that they do. And I know there are several backpack programs in various schools around the area, and I want to commend all of those who contribute to those. So let's read the story of the girl in the yellow dress. There once was a girl named Melanie who wore a yellow dress everywhere she went. The yellow dress was the only one she had. Sometimes kids made fun of her for wearing it, but Melanie didn't care because the dress made her feel safe. It was hard for Melanie to feel safe at home. She liked to be at school best. At school, there was always enough to eat. Sometimes at home, there wouldn't be anything for dinner for Melanie and her little brothers and sisters. On those nights, Melanie's mom looked sad and worried. Melanie often wondered what it would be like to have a big dinner that was all to herself, just like her lunch at school. Sometimes when everyone else was on the playground after lunch, Melanie stayed inside to take food out of the trash. She would hide it in the pockets of her yellow dress and take it home for her family. Sometimes Melanie would even find enough food to share with her family for dinner and have enough left over for breakfast the next day. Those days were her favorite because she wasn't hungry during class. The days when she couldn't find enough were the worst. It was hard to pay attention in class. Melanie's teacher would call home and complain that Melanie wasn't paying attention. Sometimes she even sent Melanie to the principal's office. Melanie would put her hands into the pockets of her yellow dress and on those days and wish hard that food would appear. One day Melanie was digging in the trash bin, tucking the apples she found into the pockets of her yellow dress. She looked up and there stood Principal P. Principal P didn't look too pleased to see Melanie looking into the trash. "Come to my office, please," Principal P said. Melanie followed her, her hands shaking in the pockets of her yellow dress. "Why were you taking food from the trash, Melanie?" Principal P asked. Melanie shrugged. "For my family. For dinner," she answered, not able to lie to the formidable Principal P. Principal P looked sad at first, then very angry. "Melanie, I am going to fix this," she said. Melanie was surprised, but happy to not be in trouble. She hurried away from Principal P's office, happy that she got to keep the food hidden away in the pockets of her yellow dress. The next day, Principal P called her out of class. Uh-oh, Melanie thought. There was a brown paper bag on the desk in Principal P's office. "This is for you to take home today. There will be another one tomorrow," said Principal P. Melanie looked inside the bag. It was filled with apples, crackers, peanut butter, string cheese, and more food than Melanie could usually ever find in the trash. Melanie looked at Principal P in surprise. "No kid should have to be hungry," Principal P said firmly to the girl in the yellow dress. With the girl in the yellow dress on her mind, Principal P met with some of her friends, including her very special friend, Mary Kay. They started making sack suppers for other boys and girls like Melanie. Principal P never forgot to bring Melanie her dinner, though, not even once. Soon, Principal P and Mary Kay were making sack suppers with their friends for hundreds of children. Principal P still kept her eye on Melanie. She was happy to see that Melanie was doing better in school and had stopped taking food out of the trash. A few years later, hundreds of volunteers are coming together every day to make sack suppers for thousands of students. They call their work Kids Food Basket. Melanie went on to middle school and then to high school. Principal P lost track of her, but to this day, Principal P has never, ever forgotten the girl in the yellow dress. Thanks to that girl in the yellow dress, boys and girls all over the city have their own sack suppers to take home. None of them ever have to feel hungry. Not ever. The end. So that is the story of the girl in the yellow dress, written by Danielle Alexander and illustrated by Alyssa Parsons. And I hope we all remember the story of the yellow dress as our school year gets ready to start back this fall. See you next time with another story.